And ahead of Lincoln at home, Mark, another tough game, but I suppose you'll see it as another opportunity.
Yeah, it's the most important game because it's the next one, and it's a really good game for us, and we're really looking forward to it.
And how do you approach it in terms of, obviously, them being where they are and you wanting to stay very much in the mix, possibly for automatic and definitely for the playoffs?
We approach it like we do every other game. We assess the opponent's strengths and weaknesses, and then we work on that in the time we have available and try and put that into practice out on the pitch.
And what did you make of Lincoln's draw against Exeter midweek?
They keep going. They've not played as well as they have done this season, but they've got good players, throughout the squad. They've got good, experienced players that the majority of the time make the right decisions, and that's why they're top of the league.
And have they added layers to their game this season? Because obviously they did have a reputation one way, and they're top, and the manager got a bit upset with one of my questions last time. I suppose we don't want to give him any more motivation, do we?
There's no right way or wrong way to play football. There's whether you play long ball, short ball, any kind of ball. There's no right way or wrong way. Just be good at what you do, and Lincoln are very good at what they do. Yes, they've added even better players this year, and I think when you add really good players to your squad, those players make the right decision. Like I said, more often than not, and they know when it's on to play, and they know when it's not on to play.
Do you see yourselves competing against them still for a promotion place, or are they almost sort of ones to be written off and you're competing for teams, the Mansfields of this world?
Not really looking at that. We're just looking at the next game and seeing what that brings and trying to get 3 points.
Is there an advantage that they had a midweek game and you didn't?
Ideally, you'd like to have a clear week. As a coach or a manager, you'd like to have a clear week, but I would probably say that if you looked at the stats on games played, teams that have had a clear week and teams that have played a midweek game, they'd probably work out pretty even. You
did have a midweek reserve game as well, which gave an opportunity for a couple of squad players to be getting a run out and keep them ticking over. Dale Grubb as well, getting some game time. How's he come through it?
Yeah, he came through it fine. He's been out for 6 weeks, and he came through that fine and much needed minutes on the pitch for him.
And how important that he gets back on the score sheet straight away. And is he someone who offers something different in attack for you?
He is. He's a ball carrier. He carries the ball really well and creates himself opportunities. But he's got to work hard and make sure he gets himself back in the team.
Sean Mikulski also scored a hat-trick. How impressive was he?
Very impressive. I think it's 2 hat-tricks in 3 games for him. So, his attitude's been spot on since he came to the football club.
And that just means competition for places. We see Christian Doidge has been at the chiropractor this week. How's he?
Fine. He's just a bit of maintenance, and he'll be fine for Saturday.
Just keeping him in tip-top condition then?
Correct.
Talking of the front players, how difficult is selection there at the moment? Because you've got options and everyone seems to be competing hard.
Yeah, we've got some good players in the forward options, but got to score goals. You look at the opportunities we had last week at Mansfield to score and we didn't. So they have to score. With those chances have to be converted if we're gonna try and get to where we want to get. We have to score goals when we get in them positions.
And what is that? Is that confidence, or is it just a case of needing to be more ruthless?
No, it's not confidence. It just comes down to making sure that you make the right decision, the right weight of the shot, the right type of shot under pressure.
Very hard to work on in training. How can players improve on that, or is that just down to themselves?
Yeah, it comes down to ability, and it comes down to making sure you pick the right option.
The pitch obviously has been a bit threadbare in recent weeks. We've had a warm, dry week. How much would that have helped?
It's not going to grow now, is it? We have to wait until next year for the pitch to get where we want it to be. So we have to listen. It's not an excuse. We have to make do with with what it is, and it is what it is, and you just got to get on with it.
And that is something that you've managed to adapt to, isn't it, in the last home game?
Yeah, we had to be a little bit more direct. We had to pick a different type of team, and be a little bit more combative to get the 3 points.
Injuries? Everyone okay?
Yes, everybody. We should have. Shepherd should be back in the squad, so it'll be Shepherd added to the group that went to Mansfield.
Thank you, good luck.
Thank you.
Mark, John Akinde is another obvious threat for Lincoln. Scored the other night, caused a few problems back in the game in November. As well as him, with all the experience inside, do you feel you have to be quite clever to perhaps get a result against Lincoln on Saturday?
You have to play well. Play really well. You have to really commit yourself. You have to have a lot of desire. They got a lot of threats. Big John Akinde's a right handful. So is Matt Reed. So is Lee Angle. So is Jordan Roberts. So is Danny Rowe. So is Bruno Andrade, who scored 5 of the last 6 goals. So we're going to have to defend well, we know that. And if we do that, then we have players in our team that can hurt the opposition.
That's it. Playing well was exactly what you did back in November after you went 1-0 down. That first half performance was brilliant. So in the manner of the way you ended up losing that, do you feel like you kind of owe them to sort of get a result again?
Not really. We played really well in that game, but it's happened a few times this season. We've made 2 horrendous errors of judgment, which gave Lincoln 2 calamitous goals, really. And if you're going to beat Lincoln, you can't do that.
Thank you.
Mark, what do you make of the managerial rivalry that's been bandied about between yourself, Scott Lindsay and the Cowleys? Do you take much notice of it?
I don't know how there is a rivalry. I think we're 163 miles away. So it's not really a rivalry. It's just the fact that we were both competing in the National League together, and we've both gone into League Two. So from our point of view, there is no rivalry. We fully respect what is a big football club, big support, a lot of good players, and they've done really, really well, and we fully respect everything about Lincoln.
So in that case, is it just another game like it would be playing Northampton?
It has to be. You can't. It is another game, and it's another game that we have a chance to get 3 points, and I'm sure Lincoln are feeling the same.
And a game, obviously, that you're going to relish. It is a big game.
Of course, it's a game we're going to try our best to win. We need to win. We want to win. And but like I said, we're going to have to play really well to beat a team like Lincoln, because they don't lose many, and they've got some really good players.
Yeah. If I'd said to you at the start of the season, the position you're in now, would that have satisfied you?
Yeah, we'd have snapped your hand off to be competing towards the top end of the league, and I think if you'd have took away some of the horrendous mistakes we made early in the season, we could be an awful lot higher. But when you have a lot of young players, that's what happens. And but we're really pleased with where we are, but we don't just want to be really pleased and be there to enjoy, just be part of it. We want to make sure we're right in the shake-up towards the very end.
Yeah. Obviously, Grubb and McCloskey did very well in the week. Are they knocking on your door saying, "Gaffer, pick me Saturday"?
Certainly McCloskey is. Grubby's obviously been out for 6 weeks, but Sean's, since he came in to the club, has worked really hard, and all he can do is keep scoring hat-tricks in development games and keep asking questions.
All the very best Saturday.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Okay, guys.